In this example, we're going to connect 255 chips in several ways and investigate what happens. With the setup now, the chips are pretty much independent and separately powered. But in tests that we're going to perform, we will connect the output of one pin to the power pin of the second. We will also connect it to the control pin of the second, and finally connect to the trigger pin. So first, just want to see what is going on with each circuit. The circuit to the left is actually running at a much slower frequency than the circuit to the right. So if I connect it, you can hear that this is actually a very low frequency. If I connect it to the circuit on the right, it's running at a much higher frequency. So now what I will do is we will just connect the power pin of the right circuit to the output of the second circuit, and we get this more interesting modulated sound. Let me connect the oscilloscope so we can take a look at what the output looks like. I connected the oscilloscope to the output pin on the rightmost chip. And if we look at the oscilloscope output, we've got here a capture of one cycle where the lower frequency signal is off on the left and on the right. And if I change the scale a little bit, we can see that the right consists of you can see the higher frequency signal. So essentially, just what's happening is the top pin is turning the left chip is turning the right chip on and off, and it's adding a little richness to the output. Next, we'll connect the output of the left chip to the control pin on the right. Now I've connected. The rightmost pin is now getting its own power, but we have removed the capacitor to ground on the right chip and connected this white wire which goes to the output of the left chip. And we're getting a somewhat annoying but different sound out of the circuit. On the oscilloscope, we can see that as before, we can see the this is essentially one cycle of the circuit, whereas before we saw like nothing happening during the low voltage of the lower frequency pin. Now we're getting we're seeing like some oscillations. Essentially, we're seeing like these spikes. While it's on, though, we see the more standard square wave. So that's sort of a good shot there of the difference in signal. So we're seeing pretty much a very long pulse and a very short pulse, while the lower frequency chip is at its low voltage state. So finally, I'm going to connect the output of the rightmost pin to the trigger pin of the rightmost pin. So in the configuration now, we've connected, well, in previous configuration, the rightmost chip was triggering itself, but now it's being triggered by the output of the leftmost pin. And we have a lower frequency and actually sort of an interesting sound, because essentially the circuit's just oscillating, or the output is pretty much the same and same frequency as we get if the pretty much the same frequency that we get from just the right pin directly. So now let me sort of quickly move the output to just the right pin. And it's pretty much the same signal. So that concludes the experiments with two 555 chips.